So if you haven't heard by now through other channels of social media like YouTube or Instagram, I have a child coming, my first one, at the end or near the end of Q4 of 2025. Now, I am putting together an entire plan. I haven't finalized the name yet, but I think it's going to be Ballers Begin with Dad. I'm going to give the entire thing away for free. And there's three main reasons for this. One is we all talk about the lack of culture in the United States. Well, my job is to save USU soccer. That's my goal. And I believe that having a program like Ballers Begins with Dad highlights the importance of introducing football and culture at home as quickly and early as possible. Two is, I don't have every single answer, but I've seen a lot of things through my 10-year venture as a coach, and obviously my 18-year career as a youth soccer player, plus going into college, playing Division II, playing semi-professionally in Europe, playing on the U.S. men's national futsal team through AMF, representing us in a World Cup, right? So there's a bunch of things that I've seen, training professional players, training the youth generational talents. I've seen a lot of stuff. I want to give that back because if we're going to solve this conundrum here, it's going to require somebody to take lead on this. I'll take lead. And so I'm going to give you this entire roadmap. And I've already given you my youth soccer playbook, which I'm going to follow religiously, by the way. But then I'm going to create and document the steps that I take, the lessons that I learn in terms of introducing culture into my child's life in Q4 here in 2025. Because I think with that roadmap, it can be scaled, and I'll show you step by step everything that I've done to start building that culture at home, introduce football at home, and then get on that journey of Ballers Begins at home. Because if he wants to play football, let's help get him or her where they need to be successful to play the sport. And I'm not talking about at 7 years old being the greatest gift on earth. No, but what I'm talking about is the tools. And then they decide, do I want to play football or not? That's key. So please understand the premise here. We're going to be building the culture and the tools successful to play in the youth landscape. And so I'm going to be sharing with you all those steps. So the first three things I'm going to do, make sure the ball is introduced. Ball is introduced as the first gift at home. The first gift. I've already told my wife, the first gift that my child will receive is a ball. And then I'll share with you later the type of things I'm going to do even as a baby where they're not able to walk yet of how we're going to introduce the ball to them. Second is to get them to see tons of football. I run a soccer school. So guess who's going to be coming to training sessions or games that we have? My child. And then the third piece, or it's really 2.5 with that, is on television. Football everywhere. Football everywhere. On TV. I already told her, look, we're going to have football on TV a lot. I want it to be in Portuguese. There can also be English as well. But I want that visualization of football constantly on TV. Because you think about countries like Brazil, the guys that are into football, which is a majority of the country, they're constantly watching or being involved around what? Football. The same thing here. Just translate it. Okay, and then the final piece to this would be, as much as possible, play 1v1. Play 1v1. Me versus my child. Say at 2 years old, they're able to start walking. Can I start pulling the ball from them? Can I start allowing them to take the ball from me? We're not kicking. We're not passing. We're not shooting. I mean, they can shoot if I set up goals, but I want them to take, to dribble, to push, to pull, to drag, right? Start building those core principles. And those are the three things from the get-go that we're going to be working on immediately, because Ballers Begins with Dad. And I have this traditional mindset. I'm not saying that it cannot be with women. It can. But traditionally, like my dad introduced me to sport. Not my mom. My mom participated somewhat, yes. My dad introduced me to sport. And I think that is such a huge premise here. That's why I like the title, Ballers Begins with Dad. And that's how we introduce culture.